Do you like chess but hate that you can never seem to beat an opponent who's better than you? Or maybe your friends don't want to play with you anymore because you always win. Well, let me introduce you to my favorite chess variant, Fog of War chess. See, most chess variants make the game more complicated. They give you extra pieces, extra actions you can take, extra large board. How am I supposed to learn what all this stuff is? Fog of War chess is the opposite of that. How does it work? You can only see the squares that your pieces can see, which means you have to make guesses at what your opponent's doing, play defensively, and try to kill their king before they kill yours. You see, there's no check and there's no checkmate. The game ends when you capture their king. Doesn't matter how you capture it, you can capture it with any piece, including your own king.
What happens if I take the king with my king? Oh, he has a pawn on e4. Wow.
If you're going to start playing, here's 5 tips to help you win. 1. Always keep your king protected. This seems pretty obvious. That's what you want to do with regular chess as well. But in Fog of War especially, any open lines to your king are a liability. And try not to move him into the fog unless you absolutely have to, such as in an endgame. 2. Know about the most common strategies in the game. One of the best opening strategies with white is to play c4 into queen a4 because you can get a free win on turn 3, but it's also very common that people will attack your weak f-pawn. If you're familiar with the Scholar's Mate, this is even better when there's Fog of War on the board. 3. Your pawns can provide excellent vision, but it's a little unintuitive how the vision gets displayed. So when the game starts, you can see the 2 squares ahead of each pawn because those pawns would be able to move 2 squares on their first turn. If a pawn can move forward, you'll see that the square in front of it is empty, but if the pawn can't move forward, then the square will be fogged up. Alternatively, a pawn typically won't provide vision to its diagonals where it would be able to capture, but if there's a piece there that can be captured, you'll be able to see it. In the case of en passant, a square will go from having no vision to having vision on the diagonal, as well as the pawn beside it. 4. It's good to know what pieces can be ambushed by which pieces. So a queen, for example, can only be ambushed by a knight. Every other piece will only be able to capture the queen while the queen is looking at them. Now the exception to this rule is that you've moved a piece that has allowed the opponent a discovered attack on your queen, so be aware of that too. And lastly, keep track of which pieces your opponent has left. For example, if they only have a dark squared bishop remaining, your pieces are going to be much safer on the light squares, and vice versa. If there are no more knights on your opponent's side, your queen is going to be much safer. So I highly recommend that you try this game mode out. If you want to play it, you'll find it under the 4-player and variants tab of chess.com. You can load up the website on your phone's web browser and play that way. However, you will be limited in what you are able to do during and after the game. One of the funniest things I like about Fog of War chess is that after the game, you can turn off the fog, see all the moves that your opponents did. If you look at the replay, it just looks like 2 people who have no idea what they're doing. So that's it. Try this mode out. Play it with your friends. Let me know what your favorite openings are. Thanks for watching. See ya.